What's up, YouTube? Today we're gonna do trade recap or a live trade that I'm doing on GU. Today we had unemployment that came out for the dollar. It came out better than expected, but it came out less than last month, which caused the dollar to fall dramatically. If you look here, the news reacted very negatively, which makes me more of a bull on GQ once again. Yesterday, though, we had a lot of selling pressure happening just because of inflation expectations for tomorrow's PCE that's coming out. But overall, I'm very much bearish on the dollar and bullish on GU, so we will see what happens. Right now, too, I'm looking at this 15-minute demand level. This was the news candle that came out for GDP. It ended up breaking structure, and now it's coming back to that zone. It's also the same demand level that's on the 5-minute as well. So we'll see if it taps into my zone. On the hour, there's a demand as well, but I don't really like this level because it didn't really break structure for real for me on the hour. So I'm rather just looking at the 15-minute and the 5-minute to see if price pulls back to our level and so we can get in. Looking at the depth of market, right now there are more sellers than buyers, but we'll see when price gets to our zone if buyers step in and try and push the price back up. Alright, so right now we're tapping into a US 30 zone. I haven't traded US 30 in a minute, but if it respects this zone and breaks on the 15-minute, I'm gonna get in for a sell. US 30, just for some context, has been selling dramatically because of rising in yields and bonds. Yields and bonds basically do the opposite of what US 30 does. So if yields and bonds are rising, US 30 is falling. US 30 in equities is most likely falling. And then if the opposite occurs, then they're rising. And right now, bonds and equities are rising. So we'll see if 30 respects or blows through the supply zone. Alright, right now, as you guys can see, I am inside of a trade on Dirty 30. Gonna see how this trade plays out. Of course, I don't plan on just holding full TP or full stop loss. I'm gonna trail my stop if the trade goes in my favor and do what I need to do, cut losses if the trade reverses or whatever. And overall, just follow my plan. Alright guys, right now I'm currently in profit, just a little bit. So, but the trade is at a 1-to-1 for me. So I'm gonna move my stop to break even now. And alright, right now the trade is basically risk-free for us. So I'm gonna monitor the trade, trail my stops when they need to be trailed. And yeah. Later on in the day now, on this US 30 trade, or YM, I ended up getting out a little bit above break even. I had a $300 loss, but I risked about 600 on this trade. The trade ended up reversing on me once it came down and tapped into my 1-to-1. It came back and reversed. At that point, I knew the trade was more low probability. According to my rules, I should really moved it to break even, but I moved it a little bit above structure, and I ended up getting tapped out right about here. On the other hand, the GU trade that I was looking at actually ended up flying and going for a 1-for-3, but I didn't get inside this trade because I was already looking at the US 30 trade. So on this trade, I probably would have risked 0.50 and we made about 1%, because if it would have went below this higher low, I would have got out. Other than that, because of the news, equities are trading a little bit higher, bonds are a little bit lower, just because the news was really bad for the dollar. But we're gonna see tomorrow with PCE and see if we can see any more setups.